Hello everyone, my name is Josh Turco and welcome to the Overtime Sports for the 2022 Winter Athletic Season. We now start the show with our hosts, Ranon and Devin.
Hi everyone. Wow, Raina, did you know our last winter OTS episode was nearly 2 years ago? I was just a mere freshman, and now, oh my God, I'm a semester away from being a senior.
Yeah, but still can't drive. And the last time we did a show, I was in the 10th grade.
Oh, so before you failed your driver's test.
Well, yes, but no, because I passed. Let's just get on with the show.
Thought so.
Alongside my co-host, Devin Agnello, I'm Ranon and Devin, yes, with the license, and thanks for joining us. Devin, what's on today's show?
Thanks, Ranon. Well, like past episodes, today we catch up with all of our KHS winter athletic teams, and they provide us with their season stories.
And starting things off, producer Matt Mazurkowitz catches up with our winter track teams. We'll be right back after this segment.
What were your goals for this season as a coach?
The goals coming into this indoor season were for the boys to win sectionals and to get as many kids through states as possible, and for the girls to compete at sectionals and rank as high as they could and get PRs to end their season.
Well, right now, I'm still trying to make it to nationals for the 55. I'm 2 100ths away, so I still think it's an achievable goal, but as a team, our goal is to win sectionals. That's pretty much every year what we're trying to do, and we accomplished that, and now all that's left to do is really do our best as a team in our group meet this week.
Goals as an individual were I wanted to medal at counties, wanted to place at sectionals and states. Goals as a captain were for the team to win sectionals, which we ended up doing last week, first time in school history. So that was a big accomplishment for the team.
What is it like coaching winter track?
Coaching winter track is a really fun time, but also definitely a tough season. Between the weather and the smaller training space for our team, but the kids really are able to kind of go through those challenges and still come out on top.
What's your favorite part of the winter season?
Favorite part of the winter season? Honestly, I really enjoy the meets. I mean, they can be long, but it's also really fun to just hang out with your teammates and meet a bunch of people from different towns. And there are also really cool facilities that you get to go to, like the Armory or Ocean Breeze. So those are also really cool as well.
What is your favorite part about being a member of the team?
We're like a family here. We're all super close. We're all united as one. And it's just awesome to come here every day and spend time with my friends and my teammates, and we can grow as one family together.
My favorite part about the track team is how much we're a family. Everyone cares about each other. Everyone's looking to do what's best for the rest of the team. And yeah, it's like you're home away from home on the track team.
Do you have any goals for the future?
For the future? Well, I'm considering running in college. That's definitely starting to become more of a goal for me. But honestly, day to day, I'm just trying to get better than I was the day before. Trying to get PRs and just improve as an individual as well.
Well, my plans for spring track are hopefully to recover from my injury well and back up what we did. We have sectionals in cross now. We won it in winter and win it again in spring. So that's the goal for the team.
I'm hoping that we can take our momentum and the younger guys can see the success that the senior guys have had, and they can continue to do that and roll into it the following years, and we just start building on that.
The winter track team had an outstanding season. Several members were able to break school records. Shout out to Jack Ahart for capturing several records, and Liam Kessel and Brandon McKeon for setting new heights with jumping records. Best of luck to all the track members that compete in the spring season.
We raced from the track to the pool. My co-host Devin and her co-producer Ava Schuldis provide our next segment with this story about the girls' swim team. Let's check out the report.
So I do swim because I've always loved the sport and I always wanted to try it. So starting freshman year, I gave it a go and it's been a great 4 years.
I do swim because it's fun and I've been doing it for years since I was little, since I did the summer swim team when I was younger. I've been doing swim since I was 5 years old competitively with our summer team on Faison Lake. So
I started my freshman year, so only 4 years, and over time I really grew as a person and through the sport, learning the skills. So my goals going into the season were obviously to get better at the sport since I was new to everything. So just to progress as a swimmer and learn all the new skills.
Our goals this year were definitely to make it into states as far as we can, to possibly win the state sectional, and to have a definitely better record than we have in the past and do the best we can.
One of our main traditions is singing country roads on the way home from meets. So the seniors time it out where it ends perfectly as we're driving into the high school. So that's one of our main traditions.
We usually have pasta parties before our meets, and my favorite tradition personally is when we have the Christmas party around winter break and everyone brings presents. We have like a secret Santa and it's a great time.
My favorite stroke is freestyle. It's also one of the basic strokes, but it's the easiest one and it's really fun.
My favorite stroke is freestyle, even though it's really basic, but I've always had a special place for it.
I'm gonna miss the team the most and just the friendships I've built over the past 4 years. And just swimming with my friends. It was so much fun, so I'll miss that.
I'm definitely gonna miss my peers and all like my teammates. They always are the reason that I've done it and kept going with the sport, and they always make it so fun to be there.
I would tell a freshman to just do it because I started my freshman year and I was really nervous going in because I had no prior experience. But you learn how to swim with the coaches and everything, and it's a great sport, so I would just do it.
I would say there's nothing to lose, just do it. Even if you don't have like past competitiveness in the sport, just going in and trying something new, it's definitely worth it. Everyone is so nice and so welcoming, and just definitely join. We need people.
Devin, you and Ava did a nice job on the video.
Thank you. Also, shout out to all the seniors for a great season and competing the last several years with COVID restrictions. And like in previous years, KG Swim continues to build on their strong tradition, earning another trip to the state playoffs. Despite not winning a title, excellent job is extended to all. Ranon?
Okay, staying with the swimming theme, up next, producer Cooper Richmond provides our next segment as he caught up with the members of the boys swimming team. Let's dive into this video.
Why?
Because it says it right here on the prompter. We'll be right back.
How long have you been swimming?
So I started swimming on my lake team when I was 7, and then I joined the club team for the YMCA when I was 9. So you could say 9 years or 11 years, it doesn't really matter.
I've been swimming for 11 years. I started out when I was 7 years old on the Smokehouse swim team, the Stingrays. And then when I was 9, I moved to a club team.
What's your role as captain?
I'd say my main role is probably just trying to be a big brother for the rest of the team. Yeah.
As a captain, I mainly like to motivate the team, make sure everyone's fired up and ready to swim as fast as they can.
What's going through your mind when you're on the starting block?
Yeah, so that's kind of interesting. It's really different for a lot of people. Like some people get like really hype and like angry, and some people just like dial in. And I'm more of the guy to dial in. Like I just try to focus as much as I can on the race that I'm about to swim.
Ooh, when I'm on the starting block, I'm definitely the type to get like super like angry and kind of like, oh, I got the person next to me, oh, I'm gonna beat you pretty bad. Like I go ham on the starting block.
What's your best stroke?
So my best stroke is probably freestyle, but the events that I swim, we don't swim at high school meets. So on high school, my best stroke is fly.
My best stroke is backstroke.
In your professional opinion, is water wet?
Is water wet? I mean, I'd say no, just because, I don't know. Water makes you wet. Water can't be wet if it's but then it's already wet, I don't know. Yeah.
It's a tough one.
Is water wet? No, I don't think so. No, water's not wet.
Nice. All right, last question. What does chlorine taste like?
Chlorine tastes how gasoline smells. Awful.
Wow.
For all our non-swimmers out there.
Yeah, it's nasty. I mean, it makes your mouth really dry. And some days when there's like a really stinky guy who was in the pool earlier, you get the BO smell and so it's like, you know how pool smells when you walk in? Think about that and BO mixed together in your mouth, like that.
Gross.
Yeah.
All right, thank you very much. Get a in there.
Like,
I don't know, is water wet?
chlorine tastes like that. No, water is not wet.
I mean, it's
Like, water
your
is
professional opinion, so you can say whatever you need to.
Yeah, I don't think so. I think no, I'm kidding.
All right, let me get another little clap going. Wait a few seconds.
Thank you is extended to Cooper for the video, and it's noted several of our video segments were impacted by COVID restrictions during the winter season, so Cooper was limited in getting some B-roll and an interview with Coach Boardman. Nonetheless, thanks to everyone for assisting.
Also, big shout out to James Carreri and Kevin McNamara, as they will both be competing next year at the NCAA Division I level. James will take his talents to the Ivy League as he will be attending UPenn, and Kevin earned a scholarship and will attend Marist. Good luck, guys.
Ranon, is frozen water wet?
No, I think it's a solid. Why?
Well, from the pool to the ice rink, producer Nick Roslin provides our next segment about our United Varsity Hockey team. Kinnelon is a tri-school team with nearby schools Jefferson and Sparta.
I mean, ice is frozen and water isn't a pool, and they're both winter sports, so like.
Let's just move on. We'll be right back.
It was a long road this year. You know, we finally started clicking the last few weeks. I think we played our best game at the end of the season. So the guys started to buy in and, just believe in the system. And our last game was a big win.
I think we really blended together as the season went on. In the beginning, you could definitely tell that we weren't as together. We weren't listening to one another. We didn't have that chemistry that we had at the end of the season.
What is your favorite part about coaching the hockey team?
Well, seeing the guys like you, Nick, from here at Stony Brook growing up, and then moving on to that next level.
I think it's just being with everybody, being around like all my friends, and especially with last year with merging with 2 towns and becoming 3 towns. It's nice. I mean, I got to meet new people. I got to have fun with new people, and I don't know. It's just a lot of fun. Like, I love playing hockey, and I love being with people I like to play with.
And I get to see, you guys develop into young men and move on to the next level. So it's very enjoyable seeing the full package. Team traditions in the past, before we merged, we used to have pasta parties every Thursday night before games, stuff like that. That's difficult now with the 3 schools.
One tradition is we'd all run to Dunkin' while we wait for the bus. We run across, whether it's the snow or if it's snowing out or if it's grass out, we run to Dunkin', get an order, and run back before the bus leaves without us.
Seems like the boys are, heading over to Dunkin' Donuts for their Dunkin' runs after practice, and just, some off-ice bonding there. Goals for the future, it's always to win your division. Next year, we'd like to win the Halverson division, move on to the state tournament. With this group, the new tryout group, we haven't qualified for a state tournament yet, and I think next year is our year. That will be a big talking point come November.
For the future of the team, I think it's definitely to win a championship next year. They look pretty good. They could be pretty good next year. We were competing with some high-level teams this year, so we were having a lot of fun with that. We saw our potential, and we know where we can get to next year. So.
All right, and lastly, finish the quote from the 1977 movie Slapshot from the Hanson brothers. We are putting on the
foil.
Show? I don't know.
What are you guys doing? Putting on the foil. For game? Yeah, you want some? No.
Thank you, Nick, for the video report. As the video expresses, it is unique to have three schools come together and form a team. They definitely put in the work, and shout out to Coach Myron, who has been coaching for some time. Thanks to the seniors, and good luck to the returning players next year. Devin?
From the rink to the court, we now turn our attention to the basketball segments. Up first, producers Ellie Juarez and Drew Smith provide this report about the boys basketball team. We will return right after this.
Man don't live off of the hype, huh? Real thing, eh?
Yeah. I pull up in Lexus like it's 07. I just hit a lick, I gotta hit the next one. Last year I know you learned your lesson. I could GPS you if you need to.
What were your expectations going into the season?
Going into this season, I expected my team to be very competitive in every game, to try their best on the floor, win as much as possible, and advance in the county tournament and make the state tournament.
What are your goals for the end of this season?
Well, firstly, we have a game at Pequannock tomorrow night. I think it's their senior night, so we want to go on a little rampage, ruin some senior nights. We beat Parsippany last night. It was their senior night, packed house, and we took them down, so we want to do the same thing against Pequannock tomorrow. Also finish out with as many wins as possible. We're sitting at 7-10 right now, so if we can get to double-digit wins, that'd be a really good end to my senior year.
The season's coming to an end, but our goals for the rest of the year are to win at least 3 of the last 4 games. So if we can win 3 out of the 4, that'd be nice. But hopefully we go undefeated.
What upcoming games are you excited for?
Like I said, Pequannock, they're always a fun matchup. Going to play there is always a test, but I'm always up for the challenge. Whippany Park is another good one. We got some rivalries with them, some good games over the past couple of years, so that'll be a fun game too. And then finishing off at Mountain Lakes, that should be another good game.
I'm most excited for our game against Pequannock at Pequannock because it's always fun going there. They got a great environment. But I'm also really excited for Whippany Park. That's next week.
What is your least favorite drill?
Definitely the agility drill. If Arroyo's not in a good mood, he'll hit us with that, and it's never a fun time. It's a lot of running. It doesn't feel good on the legs at all, and usually it's at the beginning of practice, so it gets you tired for the rest of it. But just gotta stay strong, stay mentally sharp, and get through it.
Who's got the most bounce on the team?
SR Parada is by far the bounciest kid, not only on the team but in Kinnelon. Check the highlight tape.
Besides me, I'd probably say Steven Parada. He's the only one with an in-game dunk, but a lot of people sleep on my bounce. I'm not saying I'm the bounciest, but I'm definitely someone to keep your eye out for. But I'd give it to Steven Parada. I'd give him that one.
Who's the most improved player?
this season, the most improved player is my boy DC, Dylan Charles. He's been getting buckets recently, turned the season around for us.
I'd have to give it to Dylan Charles. Last year as a freshman, he was on JV, but this year he's played a big part on the varsity team. He's always being scrappy, working hard, and he's been an X factor in a lot of these games. So
this season, I wouldn't say one player surprised me, but my sophomores and my seniors who played varsity basketball this year surprised me. They were very competitive, even though we lost very close games. We won some close ones. Definitely stressful, but overall, very proud of them.
How do you feel about ending your coaching career with this team?
This group of seniors was one that I was looking forward to finishing my career with. It was one of the reasons why I came back this year. All seniors were very respectful, great teammates, competitive, and did everything that I asked them.
And what will you miss the most about high school basketball?
Just the bonding with the team, having that routine every day after school, hanging out with the fellas. And I gotta say, pasta parties definitely. They're always fun. Just some team bonding and spending more time with the guys. So.
Probably just grinding with the boys every day at practice, getting big wins. Nothing like the locker room after a big win.
Do you think you'll ever coach again?
I never say never. I just know that I have to take a break now to be with my family and to spend time and watch my daughter in her high school years and watch my son play travel soccer and spend more time with them rather than coaching high school athletes.
All right, thank you.
The boys team had several games that went back and forth right to the end, and the team was competitive all season long. Brian Lane had a game-winning basket to defeat Parsippany that was highlighted with the return of fans to our athletic events. Also, a congratulations extended to Coach Arroyo as he concluded his high school head basketball coaching career. Thanks to the seniors, and good luck to the returning players next year. Devin?
Staying with the hoops theme, up next, my co-host caught up with the girls basketball team. With more, here's Ranon's video report.
Mia getting her first points.
Well, personally for me, getting my 1,000 points was my best memory for in-game. It was just a great whole team experience, and everyone ran out with posters, and that just felt amazing for me. And all the support I got was just great.
Congratulations.
Probably beating Madison my sophomore year.
Usually we go with Poker Face by Lady Gaga. It's team favorite.
On the bus, we like to play a lot of Lady Gaga that gets us hyped up for the games.
Poker Face.
What's one word to describe the team?
Fun.
I would say resilient. We fight back in every game, and even if we're down, we never give up.
We're very hardworking, and we always work hard during the games, and we're always willing to put in the work at practice, and we never give up even when we're losing.
So hardworking?
Yes. My favorite thing about the team is that we're all really good friends, and we're all really close with each other, and we're always looking out for each other, and it's a lot of fun on the team.
I think our just whole team camaraderie is just great. We all work together, and at practices it's a lot of fun, and we always work hard. We're so determined to get better as a team, and we've been doing really well this season, and I think we have to just keep working through that in states, and we'll do well.
We're all pretty close, during basketball season.
My favorite thing about the team would probably be the good mood. No one's ever unhappy. Everyone's usually excited to be there, so it's pretty fun.
kind of just motivating the team before games, keeping the team in line.
As a captain, my role is to, just like in practice and games, just be a leader. And even if we're in games, I just try to keep everyone up. And if I see that someone's down, I try to just keep everyone in the game. And I know that sometimes people get down on themselves. And even if I get down on myself, I try to get that off my mind and worry about the team over myself.
My role as a captain is to keep everyone focused at practices and also during games, pick everyone up when they're down and just encourage the team to keep going and keep fighting.
What's your team tradition?
Usually we have a lot of pasta parties and we also play hot seat a lot, and yeah.
Traditions. This year we haven't had many pasta parties just because of COVID, but usually we'll have a lot of pasta parties. And on the bus too, we listen to a lot of music, and that gets us excited for games. And then bus rides home are a lot of fun when we win, and we get hype about that too.
We eat a lot of food before each game and like blasting music and just like stuff like that.
Running at the end of the practice, we do like a shuffle drill.
What are your goals this year?
Our goal is to make it through several rounds of states, hopefully make it to the state championship, and we've already went 12-0 in conference, so yeah.
For this year, I think that we're gonna do great. We didn't graduate a lot of seniors last year, so we have a pretty good outlook on this year, and I'm hoping that in states we get pretty far. So yeah, and we won conference, so that was pretty good. So
Well, we just won our conference. Hopefully make a little run in states.
All right, last question. Can you demonstrate your jump shot?
No.
Can you demonstrate your jump shot?
Yeah. I like that, but it's definitely.
Can you demonstrate your jump shot?
all right.
All right, last question. Can you demonstrate your jump shot? All right, thank you. All right, thank you guys.
Ranon, nice job. Also, congrats is extended to the team for winning their conference championship. And the season was also highlighted with Kristen Carroll scoring her 1,000th career point.
The girls also made a deep run in the state tournament, falling short in the state sectional semifinal. Awesome job, and congrats to all the seniors, and good luck to the returning players next season as Olivia Aliota returns for her senior campaign. Devin?
It was a historic winter season here at KHS as the first ever varsity bowling team notched their first season. Producer Josh Turco provides our next segment as he talks with bowling ace Scott Sandzik and head coach Mr. Souls. We'll be right back.
How did you get into bowling?
I bowled all growing up. Like, we had a Saturday morning league. Me, a lot of my friends, we used to go have a great time.
And the bowling team is a brand new team, so how did this idea come up and who pushed it through?
Well, believe it or not, this all started about 2 years ago. Mayor Frieda called me, said, Mr. Souls, Jimmy, call me, but I need someone to coach a bowling team. I'm like, absolutely, just tell me what you need. So then Corona happened, the pandemic, so it got pushed off a little bit. And then this year, we had a very generous family that was interested in helping us start the team. And like I said, I think it turned out well.
And was the season a successful season? Why or why not?
Absolutely. Bowling really gives a chance for kids that don't play other winter sports and activity. Keeps them off the mean streets of Kinnelon. But I think we had a great group of kids. I believe they had a good time. They learned how to bowl. And like I said, you should know, Josh, you were part of it.
And for next year, how do you build off of this season?
I think that this year, when we had sign-ups, kids really didn't know what to expect. We didn't make cuts this year. Hopefully it'll be the same next year. So hopefully, kids will see we had some success. We won 4 matches, which is, pretty good for a first team program. We are in a strong conference. We have some good young bowlers, and I look forward to watching them progress.
And what did you hope coming into the season? What did you hope to get out of this season?
Well, I just wanted to start this program on the right foot. You know, I want the kids to have a good experience, to be able to, you know, try something new maybe for them or get better at something that they already did. And I really think that, you know, we had a very successful season overall.
And how does it feel to be a coach for a brand new team at KHS?
Love it. You know, I'm the golf coach here. You know, when I started coaching here, you know, it was 3 to 4 years in, but, you know, here it's just, you know, it's planting roots and just, you know, trying to get kids interested and, you know, making it a great opportunity for, you know, kids to try something new.
And last question, what is your advice for people who want to try bowling?
Come on out, give it a try. It's free, okay, so come on out, you know, and like I said, if you like to bowl, come on out, you'll get better. If you don't know how to bowl, come on out and we'll teach you how to bowl. But like I said, you know, we have a great group of kids, you know, it's a very laid back atmosphere and, you know, hopefully a lot more kids want to give it a go next year.
Thank you.
That was it, okay?
Yeah, that was great.
How did you get into bowling?
My dad always bowled since he was a kid, and I think, like, you know, when I stopped playing lacrosse, I think it was the first thing that came to my mind, so I started playing with my dad.
Was the season successful or not, or why or why?
It was a success. It was definitely a successful season. It was our first season as a team, and a lot of us got better. Like, I know me personally, I went up like 15 pins from like when I started, so it was definitely a successful season. We got a couple matches in.
And for next year, because you are a sophomore, how do you build off of this season?
I think just keep practicing in the off season, like making sure everyone goes to the lanes and keeps working on their game just to get better.
And Scott, as a captain, what was your role as the most experienced player for the new team?
Since a lot of our guys were like unexperienced, we was like kind of like helping them, like when we're rolling matches and like they start to like struggle, just like giving them tips and helping them find their like shot.
And last question, what is your advice for people who want to try bowling?
Just to bowl, just to get out and practice, and then if you get into it, you can like get your own like equipment, but just to get out and practice. Yeah.
All right, thank you, Scott.
In their first year of competition, the bowling team earned a trip to the state playoffs and looked to have the makings of an upcoming talent to keep the team competitive in future seasons.
Our next segment is provided by John Galacio and Emmeline Castellano-Smith. And shout out to them for accomplishing the report. They were both immersed in our spring musical. We appreciate your efforts on the video segment. With more, here's the fencing report.
So are there any goals or expectations for this year? I know this is the final thing, right?
Yeah, I'd say goals obviously to have a winning record, but you know, have everybody learn as much as they can and really have the best results, which we had some really good results with kids going to states. So a lot of good things this year.
When did you start coaching?
You know, I coached some kids over the past several years, and you know, when we moved to Kinnelon, I wanted to start the team, so we really worked hard, you know, to show the school to do it. And from there, I volunteered as a coach just to make sure we had enough people trying to help the kids.
So what got you into fencing?
My sophomore year, Mr. Kimberlin, one of the coaches, said, Natalie, you better do it this year. Because I told him freshman year I wasn't going to do it. And sophomore year, he basically forced me to do it.
Do you know Jack Lazarus?
Yeah.
So me and Jack were really close. And my sophomore year, he would have been a senior. He was like, TJ, come fencing. So I joined, and I've been here ever since. My dad fenced all his life. He went to Ohio State. He's a two-time All-American, so he definitely had a big influence on me wanting to start fencing. He's the one that got me into it, and I always wanted to do it to make him proud. So definitely my dad.
It's just a very interesting sport. My older brother fenced when it first opened up sophomore year, and it was just a cool sport. Always wanted to do it.
I did fencing when I was in elementary and middle school, actually. So I didn't start in high school. So I did it at a summer camp when I was really young, and when so I did epee and foil then. So I enjoyed fencing, and I thought it was fun. So I was like, okay, I'll try out high school fencing.
What is your role as captain?
It's just to help run practices, get everybody through warm-ups, make sure people are still feeling good after they lose a bout, keeping people from getting too upset. Just trying to be there when people need it.
I'd say kind of preparing everybody to fence and being
getting these kids to work. Seriously, these kids are lazy. Just to help lead the team. If anyone's feeling down, doesn't have the confidence that they need, I'll definitely go over and help them out, pick them up, lift them up, and try to make them a better fencer overall.
Do you have any traditions, like after winning a game or something like that?
Sometimes after our games, a whole group of us will go out to Applebee's and we'll get half apps.
Usually on the buses, we play music and we kind of dance.
Yeah, I mean, we like to do pasta parties right before the big tournament, which is very popular with everybody.
Can you name like one or two of the best moments you've had this entire season?
Wow, that's a tough one. I would say, we had some good success at districts or the sectional championship with some of the squads qualifying. I'd say, we had a very close meet at Mendham, which got everybody really riled up and excited. And I'd say, our senior night, we had a great turnout, a lot of people cheering, which was amazing. All the stands here were filled. So I'd say those would be some of the key highlights.
My season this year, I made it to states this year, however did poorly, so yeah, that's got to be the highlight.
I made it to the state tournament this year, so definitely fencing among the top fencers in the state. I placed in the top 20, definitely could have done better, but it was definitely one of my favorite memories. So I would say making it to the state tournament.
What qualities do you believe make a good fencer?
I think that really depends on the weapon. If you're, like for example, I fence saber, so if you're gonna be a saber fencer, you have to be very aggressive, which doesn't really apply to the other two, but definitely if you're saber, you have to be aggressive.
I think you gotta have, obviously work harder, work ethic, and I think you gotta have the right mindset. Fencing's very disciplined. You have to be able to think strategically. I think if you're always looking at what's happening during the bout, again, thinking strategically, you'll be good. So you gotta have that thought and that mindset.
Having a lot of confidence. It's a very mental sport. You have to think a lot. So if you're not confident in your decision, you're gonna have a hard time. But if you're confident, you'll see a lot of success. Being disciplined, headstrong. It's a frustrating sport. Think of any sport where it's one-on-one. Any loss feels like your loss. So it's tough. So you got to be really determined. Just take losses well. I don't know if there's a word for that. Couldn't tell you what it is.
What advice do you give to future fencers or people looking at fencing?
It looks strange, but do it, see if you like it. If you don't like it, don't do it.
If you don't win right away, it's fine. Just keep trying.
Just never give up. When you first go into your first couple bouts, the rules are very confusing at first. You don't really know what's going on. So you're probably going to lose your first few, but after that, once you get the hang of it, it's really fun, and I'd say definitely continue with it.
I mean, the biggest thing is fencing's a reactionary sport, so it's built off of habits. If you build bad habits, breaking a bad habit's much harder than making a good one. So especially in the early formative years, just take your time, go slow, and drill. So no one likes drilling, and it's tedious, but you got to do it.
Practice is key. Footwork is key. Making sure you understand what your weapon's about and what tactics you have. Fencing is a very strategic sport, so figuring out what your opponent's doing and what you should do to counter your opponent is extremely important.
What is one word that describes fencing to you?
Strange. Strange is definitely the best word I can think of.
Difficult. Fencing. No, seriously, probably, like I said before, discipline. It's all about training and just discipline. Yeah.
Thank you, John and Emmeline, for the video. Our fencing team has grown from what was a new sport here just a few years ago to a competitive team members that challenge for conference and state titles. Well done all. Ranon?
Okay, Devin. Our last segment is brought to you from our producers Ty Lindia and Damien O'Hall. In recent years, KHS has had tremendous success on the mats. Let's find out more with this report.
Wrestlers across the state looking to make a name in a wild season. Title at 106 pounds thanks to a 3-1 victory.
So what got me into coaching wrestling is originally just starting to wrestle. As a young athlete, I started wrestling probably at the age of 5, mainly because my older brother wrestled and my uncle was a wrestler, and my uncle encouraged us to join the wrestling team. So yeah, a couple of our friends were doing it. My older brother was doing it, so that's what got me involved in the sport. I had success at a young age, kept doing it. It was pretty successful in high school at it. So that's what got me really involved in coaching. When I got hired here, I became the assistant, and then I eventually worked my way to head coach. I've been coaching wrestling probably about 12 years, in Kinnelon 10 years. I spent 3 years as like the middle school head coach and the high school assistant. I kind of swung back and forth, and this will be my 7th year as the high school head coach. The hardest part of coaching is trying to develop a practice plan that lends itself to all athletes in the team in wrestling. In wrestling, you have a lot of different individual capabilities. In my room, I have guys that are as high as the state champ to some guys that are just trying wrestling for the first time. So I have to devise a practice that's like a really hard physical workout that the best guy in the state can get, and sometimes that one of the most novice guys in the room can get, and so both get something positive out of. So that's one of the most challenging parts. Are you serious? What? That was the appropriate time to do that during my interview? That wasn't in it. Did that make noise?
Kind of.
Do we have to reshoot that?
No.
I like the opportunity to help young people reach their goals and continue to grow as both athletes and people. In wrestling, you can learn a lot about both being competitive and about your physical self, but it's a big test mentally, and that's one of the best parts about coaching wrestling.
I like to think not too many. I'm a regular person. It's just kind of a cool accolade to have, and when you tell someone, they think it's cool, and that's really it. Yeah, other than that, everything's pretty much the same.
Would you say it helped you in college in any way?
Well, yeah, because I was recruited to wrestle in college, so I think that probably definitely helped me go to my college, yeah.
I mean, I've had a lot of memories because I've been doing it for a very long time, but my favorite memory has got to be winning the Bayonne tournament this year, because I haven't gotten like remotely close to doing that over the past 3 years. Like junior year, we didn't even have the tournament because of COVID, and I haven't really done so well in my freshman or sophomore years in that tournament. But this year was a pretty big accomplishment in that I wasn't expecting. So yeah, I was pretty pleasantly surprised by the end of that, having won it. So that was a pretty nice memory.
So there's no real professional career that you can make out of wrestling. There's coaching, but only the highest level coaching can really be a career. But I plan to use wrestling to get a better education because I'm wrestling in college, and in that sense, it'll lead to a better career. So, sort of, I guess.
I mean, it affects me in a bunch of ways. Like, first of all, it's the one sport I do, so it's a great way of staying fit and being in shape. So I feel good that way, just physically and in terms of my health. So there's that. But also, it affects pretty much what I eat because I have to watch my weight, of course, with weight cutting. I don't do an extreme weight cut. Like some guys will go nuts and lose like 20 to I don't know however many pounds. But that's kind of that's really pushing it. So I don't go crazy like that, but you still have to kind of watch your weight and watch what you eat.
Absolutely outstanding and congratulations is extended to Evan Mougalian, who is a 3-time state finalist and 2-time New Jersey state champion. Evan leaves KHS as the all-time wins leader with 133 career wins. If there wasn't for restrictions due to COVID, Evan would have most likely finished as the Morris County all-time wins leader and possibly the all-time state wins leader.
Incredible. His legacy will be tough to top. Evan was a 4-time district champion, 3-time region champion, and 3-time Morris County champion, and a prestigious Beast of the East finalist. In his final 3 seasons, Evan only lost 3 times and finished his high school career with a winning percentage of 96%. Evan will continue his athletic and academic talents at the NCAA Division I level next year at UPenn. Truly, Evan leaves KHS and New Jersey as a wrestling legend. He is that good.
Shout out is also extended to Coach Nicolo and Evan's training partners. Another big congrats is extended to Kayla Vasquez, who has established herself as a premier wrestler. Kayla was a region champion and placed in the girls division in the state. Kinnelon is recognized as one of the few schools in wrestling history to have place winners in the same season from both the girls and boys divisions.
Wow, not a bad way to end our winter segment. Well, Ranon, that wraps up our show. For my co-host and on behalf of the entire crew, I'm Devin Agnella saying have a great spring season. See ya, everyone.
So you think you'll pass your things first try?
First try.